Welcome to the line change. In this video, we're going to be going over an article once again, and we're going to be talking about Kevin Lankinen, as apparently he's been dealing with an injury, and that is the reason for his poor play as of late, on top of him having been sick. Last weekend, when the Canucks played the Rangers, Rick Tocchet mentioned that he was feeling unwell after that game. And yeah, so we're going to break down the article and discuss it and talk about it, as well as go over some stats in regards to Kevin Lankinen. So let's go ahead and dive right into this article. So the headline is Kevin Lankinen playing through an injury for the Canucks? The latest reports clarify Lankinen's struggles in goal. As always, I'll leave a link to the article in the description down below. According to a report, Vancouver Canucks goalie Kevin Lankinen is playing through an injury as he continues to struggle in the net. Lankinen, 29, is dealing with a quote-unquote hip issue, according to Canucks insider Rick Dhaliwal. I could not find the tweet that he posted. But Lankinen was said to be dealing with the flu after the aforementioned loss, and while he did miss 2 games, his continued struggles are apparently not related to that. This news does not come as a complete surprise, as Lankinen has allowed 14 goals in his last 3 games, including a disastrous performance against the New York Rangers that saw the Finn concede 4 goals on just 11 shots in a 5-3 loss. Overall, Lankinen has stopped just 64 of the last 78 shots that he has faced, which comes out to a .821 save percentage across those 3 games. According to Money Puck, Lankinen has allowed 5.8 goals more than expected in his last 10 games, which ranks 61st out of 72 goalies who have played at least 10 games this season. As a result, the former undrafted goalie has dropped all the way down to a .899 save percentage this season, which is now approaching the lowest mark of his career. In his second NHL season in 2021-2022, Lankinen was 8-15-6 in 29 starts for the Chicago Blackhawks, posting a 3.50 goals against average and a .891 save percentage. As Dan Riccio of Sportsnet noted on his X account, Lankinen has a .880 save percentage overall since signing the lucrative 5-year $22.5 million contract extension that ties him down in Vancouver until 2030, his age 35 season. With Canucks goalie partner Thatcher Demko seemingly back, or at least mostly back from an injury of his own, perhaps the Canucks can afford Lankinen some time to rest with only 9 games left in the season. Hip injuries for NHL goalies can be chronic and sometimes career-altering if not treated properly or promptly or effectively. Giving Demko 6 of the last 9 games, for example, could be a reasonable split if the Canucks find they need to carefully manage Lankinen's injury. The last thing the club needs is a hobbled goalie signed into his mid-30s at a sizable cap hit. So yeah, that is the article. So it looks like Kevin Lankinen is dealing with a hip injury and has been for several games now. That could very well explain Archer Seelov's having been the backup those couple games that Demko played, as Lankinen wasn't even on the bench. He wasn't even dressed. So perhaps it was more than just him being sick. And yeah, this is really unfortunate. As we've said all season long, Lankinen's played great. He's really stepped up for the Canucks. A lot of people have pointed to Lankinen as the MVP for the Canucks, other than Quinn Hughes. And he's really stood on his head at times. He's also come in when Demko's had to leave. Like, for example, that game against Toronto, where Demko took himself out of the game. Lankinen came in cold and absolutely shut the door. So Lankinen, and he's done that a few times now, that including the game against Seattle when Demko had those back spasms. Lankinen came in cold and absolutely stole the show. So he's had his bright spots, obviously, this season, but of course, as of late, his play has dipped a little bit. Perhaps that's a case of him being overworked. We all remember this happened to Lankinen earlier in the season, around like November. They relied heavily on Lankinen, and he burnt out a little bit, and his play essentially suffered because of it. And now it looks like we're starting to see that again a little bit, but also now we hear that he's dealing with a hip issue. Now, we don't know how long this hip injury's been going on. This is the first we're hearing about a injury for Kevin Lankinen. Obviously, previously we had heard that he was unwell. When they played the Rangers, and it explained his performance for that night. But perhaps this hip issue has been going on longer than we the fans know, and perhaps things are only just coming out now in regards to it. But yeah, it definitely explains his play as of late, and actually since he signed that extension, which Dan Riccio pointed out with his save percentage since then. But I do agree with this part of the article. Let me just bring it back up. This one right here, giving Demko 6 of the last 9 games. I think the Canucks, if, not knowing the severity of this hip injury, but I do think the Canucks should at least look into that. Giving Demko 6 of the last 9. I know we don't want to do the same thing to Demko that we did to Lankinen and heavily rely on him because of Demko's own injury struggles. But the Canucks may be forced to do this depending on the severity of Lankinen's hip injury. And as it said up at the top, regarding hip injuries for NHL goalies, they can be chronic and sometimes career altering if they're not treated promptly or effectively. So this could affect Lankinen in the future if they don't treat this properly. And yeah, I totally agree with the last part of the article. The last thing the club needs is a hobbled goalie signed into his mid-30s at a sizable cap hit. Yeah, that's the last thing the Canucks need, especially considering that they're going to need to extend or decide, rather, on if they're going to extend Demko or trade him. Because he will be a UFA around this time next season. So there's that decision weighing heavily on them. I know the Canucks have mentioned that they really want both Demko and Lankinen as their 2 goalies, and they're obviously confident in both of them, being their number 1 and number 2. So, but I guess at this point you can consider them both number 1s, as Lankinen's paid like a starter and Demko's a starter and paid like a starter. So, but I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this article and this revelation that Lankinen's been dealing with a hip injury, which explains his poor play as of late, including the game the other night against Columbus. Seeing this does make me second guess and question why Rick Tocchet went with Lankinen the other night against Columbus. I know it's been a huge debate among Canuck fans, and I'm still standing my ground on they should have started Demko the other night and have him start tomorrow, and then depending on Lankinen's health and how he's feeling, then you can start Lankinen on the game on Wednesday against the Kraken. And then, of course, further on, you have Demko saved for, the games against Vegas and then I forget who else they're playing that are in the top. But I know Vegas, they play Vegas twice. So you're going to want Demko for those 2 games for sure. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Once again, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this article. As I said before, I'll leave it in a link to the article in the description. And then let's dive into a quick little promo for the Canucks watch party that I've been promoting in the last few videos. So yeah, game day at Greta, Vancouver versus Colorado, April 10th, 2025. This is a Canucks watch party, and it is presented by Fountain Tire. It is being promoted by Canucks Army, Sekeres and Price, and Rink-Wide Vancouver. And it is in support of Kidsport, which is a great charity, and every ticket is a donation to them. Tickets are $10. You can get a VIP package for $40, which gives you a Greta burger, a beer or alcoholic drink, and a game card for the arcade that circles the bar. You can get your tickets at nationgear.ca. Matt Sekeres and Blake Price of Sekeres and Price will be there. David Quadrelli of Canucks Army will be there. And potentially Jeff Patterson of Rink-Wide Vancouver could potentially be there. He'll probably be there at the beginning, and then he'll have to go get ready for the Rink-Wide postgame. And of course, I will be there myself. I've already gotten my ticket, so I will for sure be there. Don't hesitate to come and say hi, and just, watch some good Canucks hockey and enjoy it on the big screens. Enjoy the good street food that they have at Greta. I've been there a few times, and it's a great environment, a great place to catch the Canucks play. And I'm really looking forward to this final watch party of the season. I went to one earlier. I believe it was in January, and I had a lot of fun. It was really great. Once again, tickets are $10. You can get a VIP package for $40, which gets you a burger, a drink, and a game card. Doors open at 5, puck drop at 6. Once again, get your tickets at nationgear.ca before they sell out. Must be 19 plus to attend. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you there. So there's that promo. And then if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, share. If you're not subscribed to The Line Change, go ahead and subscribe. Also, become a Patreon member and get exclusive perks. The link to our Patreon is in the video description. Join our Discord. Be a part of the conversation. The link to that is also in our video description. You can find us on social media. As you can see on the side there, you can find us on Instagram at The Line Change, on X, Line Change Fan, on Facebook, The Line Change. Look for our page. And then on TikTok, it's the.line.change.po. And yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Once again, hopefully you guys can come out to the watch party at Greta on April the 10th. And I'll see you guys in the next video.